Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. It has been a minute since I've been here. Like I said, I'm going to start doing this probably about 3 times a week here. So probably beginning of the month or beginning of the week, midweek, and maybe the end of the week, maybe like a Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Just giving you guys heads up so you guys know what's going on. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the charts here real quick. I want to shout out to Mr. Beast, aka that would be Bitcoin. I tell you, it is wanting to move sideways and it is wanting to move up or down. So it's acting weird. Also trading, and I'm showing you guys kind of, I've been looking, I was trying to understand kind of how I see the markets. And I was trying to kind of explain to somebody, it's like, because the markets can be very frustrating, um, simply because it is very, it can be hard, it can be very hard. So I was thinking, what's one of the best ways to keep you in this? And then I said, you know what? It's honestly gaming. Like most people love a hard game, right? And so that's the market, right? Is that you want to learn how to game the market, find trends, figure out ways that it's moving and kind of going. So I'm gonna really kind of start playing that out to kind of help you guys mindset wise look how to game the market. So if we look at this here real quick, we'll just jump right into Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin right now, as we see, is basically kind of moving sideways here. We're in this sideways pattern right here between basically 16,200 and 1700. So you can see how we're kind of going sideways in between this place. We are starting to find some movement and find some stability on that 8 period moving average. But the problem is as we're moving up, I'm seeing more seller wicks than buyer wicks. Now, the good thing behind it, though, and I do bring this up, is we are seeing an increase in volume, but it isn't like this type of volume. And even this volume is still pretty short compared to the volume up in here. So we're still seeing a lack of liquidity in the markets, but something to be paying attention to as we start to move up. I don't think that we are bottoming. Just simply because when we look at the higher time frames of Bitcoin, we're not even above the 8 moving average, right? So like that, that's definitely one of the things that I look to see, when the monthly, and if you go back and you look at the markets, you'll see that that monthly A typically kind of goes above and below. We're not even close to the monthly price where we need to have that 8 kind of playing back and forth. So until we kind of get above that, I'm definitely more of a bearish sentiment than a bullish sentiment on Bitcoin. But the nice thing behind it is, hey, this is a good time for you guys to go ahead and just simply be able to buy and and make a little bit of cash. So it's just a little thing like that that will help you guys out. As long as Bitcoin is going sideways, look to buy it at lower levels. I was listening to what's his name, John Stewart, and the guy on Shark Tank. Shoot, for whatever, Mark Cuban is his name, and they were talking about Bitcoin, and he just straight said it. He goes, "I hope that Bitcoin keeps falling. I hope it goes fall so he can buy a lot more as it keeps dropping." So Mark Cuban, who's a multi-billionaire waiting for this thing to drop, I would assume that the institutions are as well. So somebody paying attention to. And additionally to that, let's go ahead and check out we already went over the daily, week. Let's check out Ethereum here real quick. So Ethereum is looking pretty similar in the markets, is simply because as I'm looking at it, I do see us really. And if you're paying attention and you're watching, please like, subscribe, share this on your guys's local places that you watch and look at, and and I appreciate that. Whatever you guys do. So let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of doing some kind of the opposite. It is moving up, right, as we compared it for the month. But like I always talk about, if it's going up in the beginning of the month, most likely it's going to go down at the end of the month or towards the middle of the month to head down. It's creating its seller wick. So as you guys can see here, as we're moving up, we're moving into into the 50-period moving average on the monthly and the 8. And you can see how we've been trending off of that 8 here for a while now. So you can see that, we are coming up into some resistance level as we're moving up with no buyer wicks. So I do see us, unfortunately, seeing us continuing down with Ethereum down into these 927 area marks. But you know what, guys? I appreciate you guys. Come check that out. If you guys are looking to go through, and long story short, buy in. This is a good area to be buying in at these lower levels. Like, again, I am very bullish at 936 and also at that 534 area. I think a lot of people are going to jump in at these levels because these are historical lows here in comparison to other years back. So, it's just interesting to see how we're going to see this market move. And then the other low part is that $300 mark, right? That 300 for, or that 300 to what was it, 300, 310 area here that I have marked here. So just something to be paying attention to. Now let's go ahead and check out that daily. So we're seeing the daily actually have a little rally, but again, we're not seeing any real buy or wicks here. So I do see us turning back around at these lower levels here. So just to be mindful of that. All right, guys, check out BNB. Now BNB here, we had some big explosion here yesterday. I mean, this thing exploded out of nowhere, and you can see here how they did put those buyer wicks in. All right, but and just to bring this up, when institutions get involved, many times what they'll do, and we saw this with Shiba Inu, and Shiba Inu exploded before it exploded. Okay, what happened was they put in a bunch of buyer wicks back before it exploded. And then there was one day where they actually went through and they dropped it below all the other wicks, which basically stopped out everybody, right? And then we saw it rally hard after that. Within a week or two, it pretty much rallied hard at. I would think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that. But either way, we saw that movement. It's an institutional move so that they can take out all of the longs here, take their, basically get them to sell by hitting their stop losses and then rallying it up. So that's why I'm a little hesitant to sit there and say that this is going to keep continuing, just simply because we didn't really see that type of movement, right? I want to see it go below here, or even potentially go below here and then rally hard. So I think this is also another play that they're doing to actually mess with you guys. So make sure you guys are mindful of that. Also, we do have the higher time frame moving averages sitting above us, especially that monthly. We have the 8 sitting right here. On the weekly, we actually have, and this is important to be paying attention to, that weekly chart here. We got that 8 sitting right here. And then we have that 20 sitting right here at the same level. So, like I could see it's coming back up, testing that. Come on. Testing these moving average and then continuing to turn around. So be mindful of that, guys. Now let's check out XRP here real quick. XRP here is looking pretty weak, just simply because when you look at it, we came down, we touched, and whereas some of those other ones, like you can see here that we came, touched, and then now it's just kind of sitting here at the beginning of the month. So it's sitting at these levels that I really don't know if it's going to continue down or up, but also be paying attention to that 8 period as well as that weekly 20 here. These are little areas that you need to be paying attention to. Now let's check out our daily on XRP. XRP here, again, that 20 period moving average has been pretty strong. And so you can see here that it came and touched it, tried to get above it, but now we're starting to see it starting to descend down here. So I do see us probably coming back down to these lower levels of 29 cents, 28 cents. Now let's check out Litecoin here real quick. Litecoin is looking a little bit different. You can see how we're putting in lower or higher lows and higher highs here. So Litecoin is looking, I mean, fairly strong on the daily, right? But you can see how we're hitting these moving average sitting here on that daily, but we have been finding some support on that 8 and 50. So be ready for it to retrace back into these levels here at that $70 mark. In additionally to that, you can see, we'll just jump to the monthly here real quick. That monthly chart here is looking very unique. We're finding support on that 8, and now we're starting to continue up. So it's very interesting. I thought we were going to come back down and test these lower lows, but we'll find out here. Now, again, I want to bring this up. We did go down a little, and then now we're continuing up. It could also see a sell-off. Like I pointed on the daily, we do have those seller wicks. So I can see it's coming back down and testing that monthly low on that 8, and then finding support again and moving back up. So make sure you're mindful of that on the monthly. And the weekly looks pretty much the same thing. I mean, I'm just going to go over the same thing on the daily, right? So we get that 50 period moving average, and now we're starting to see it. That's where we actually came in from the daily wicks here. So be mindful of that, guys. Boom. Let's check out. Where is my? 1 second. And boom. All right, now let's check out Dot. Dot is looking. Come on, let's go. I know you can do it. You can do it. I know you want to do it. Come on, don't freeze up on me. All right, good job. All right, guys. So Dot here, as you guys can see here, we are still continuing down. Like I said, that $4 mark to or excuse me, that $2 mark to $3 mark here, or excuse me, the $2 mark to the $1 mark here. I do see us hitting this. We are seeing a lot of less volume here, but again, that 8 period moving average on that weekly is holding strong here. So I think you need to be mindful. Now we are seeing on the daily here a consolidation of some of the 8 and 20 period moving average, which we could see. But though I want to point out that there were no seller wicks here. So it's important to be looking at that there are no real buyer wicks. But as we continue up, we're starting to see seller wicks come in with no buyer wicks. So typically that means that we're going to probably see a turnaround. But the fact is that we do see it finding some support on this level. We need to see retracement off of that 8 and hold. And it needs to be just a clean touch and move back up so we see a buy wick to come. But again, I'm still very bearish on Dot down into these lower levels. Let's go into ADA here real quick. ADA is looking pretty much similar to ADA is looking pretty much similar to Dot on all the time frames. Just want to show it out. You want to wait for a retracement back down to these areas here. Even though we did put a higher high from here, we put a lower low. So to me, it's got to come back and test that 8. And again, just barely touch it and then see it rally hard and see a buyer wick come in. Let's check out Doge here real quick. Doge is looking actually pretty unique simply because, again, we see a lot of fighting and selling. And I think that actually comes with Elon's support of it, right? Whereas the other altcoins, as we're looking at them, we don't necessarily see that, right? Like we're starting to tap this 20 period and it's fighting here, right? We're also seeing buyer wicks and seller wicks again here. So there is interest here for you guys to be paying attention to. Check out Tron, and we know that Tron, I had to point out to you guys a while back ago that they actually depegged from their USDD. It got all the way down to 94 cents. So we'll check that out here real quick. Now, when I bring this up, because I've always talked about, we want to see it get above those higher highs, right? We want to see it come back up. But since it actually brought in the lower high here, right, I do see this continue down. We weren't even really able to get above that 50 period that we've been playing off of, as you can see. So the fact is that we're starting to see more closes below our moving average on their stable coin and a continuation down. It doesn't bode well for them. And so when we move to Tron is one of those things that could very much be an area that we could see a bunch of bears stepping in and push the market down based off of what they're doing. So I hope that they stay strong. I know that a lot of you guys are long with them. Hey Adele, hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. And so you can see here that as we continue down, I do see us at this lower level here. I see us coming down to this lower levels of the 4 cent mark to that 3 cent mark, or 3.37 mark area here. And then after that, I also see us coming back down into these lower levels here before you really see a resurgence of this push up. So we'll see what happens with the bears. But as you can see, the ATR here is decreasing as we keep moving down. Let's check out Matic here real quick. Matic is a little bit different in the fact that it is finding support. And the part that I want to bring up is Matic has had so much just attention going on with them that it's pretty cool to still see them holding strong here. We're not really seeing any lower lows here, but we aren't seeing any really strong higher highs. We're playing in between and ping pong off of these higher time frame moving averages. If we look at the monthly here, you'll see here, give me 1 second, that 8 moving average we just played off of, and now we're starting to come down off of it. But we've been playing off of this for a while. So it's one of those things that it's, you know what I'm saying, we are starting to see somewhat of a bottom here. But I want to see it come up above that monthly moving average and find support off of this, and then put in a big wick and then close with a strong, you know, where we're at least 90% of the candle, and when we have a small seller. That's really what I'm looking for to see. Again, I always say, if we're moving up in the beginning of the month, most likely we're going to, at the end of the month, come back down to these lower levels. Let's check out Shiba Inu here. Shiba Inu on the monthly chart here is looking pretty strong, but again, I want to point out, we are not seeing any major buyers come in, right? We're seeing a lot of stuff happening. They are building, absolutely building, and they're doing a great job, but we're not seeing major buyers step in on that monthly chart. And our 8-period moving average hasn't even had the ability to catch up to the monthly chart. So when we look at our daily, obviously it's going to be pretty similar to what we've seen with the other ones. But again, we're hitting that 50-period moving average. We need to see more buyer wicks step in on the daily to show real support stepping in. Again, I'm very bullish at the 683 area. All right, guys. So make sure you guys are looking at those areas. Let's check into Solana. So Solana, again, has had a lot of stuff going on with it. We've seen them explode the last few days. Solana they've had some good news populating their stuff. And the biggest thing is this. You can see that we have this buyer wick sitting here on the daily. And let's check out the monthly chart here real quick. Excuse me, let's pull on that 6-month chart. You can see here that on the monthly chart, see how it did put in a decent buyer wick at the sell-off. And so it's going to be real interesting to see if it does come up and we see it play off of the 8-period moving average here, right? Then we can see a pretty strong run from that 13 to that $26 mark before we start to see some resistance step in. So it's one of those things that to be, you know, like that we can see, you know, to become very strong here. So come on, let's go. Boom. Pardon me, guys. All right, guys. Well, that's it in a nutshell for me. I just wanted to go over here real quick so you guys could see what was actually going on. And then if you guys have any questions, concerns, please, you can reach out to me at Moonrock Coin, our official site. That's my community that I work with daily. I also partner with Ninja Lounge and with Coin Launch Lounge, and I am partially working with Midnight Lounge as well. So check me out there if you ever need to find me as well. You can hit me up there. But my real main home is Moonrock Coin official's website. So you can find that. We're on Twitter and a couple other places you can find us as well. Thanks, guys, so much for coming in today. Give me real quick. Thanks for coming in. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, let me know. Also, I want to shout out to the one who is making some music for us. Her name is, this is her right here, is 420, or that should not have happened. I don't understand why that is actually happening. Yeah, guys. So check us out and you'll like it. Sorry, that should not have been. I don't even know why that's even playing. It actually kind of frustrates me now. But if you guys have any questions, concerns, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you guys soon. And today's music was actually brought to us by Soul Warming by Sat Yam Shivar Music. And then he's the one who created this. YouTube decided to move me off of this, and I, for whatever reason, play this here, which they should have stayed on one of the other ones. Gotta love YouTube, right? Sometimes they mess things up. So, or actually, I take the responsibility, and I should have had that. Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel viewers, followers, views, chatbot. The price is lower than any competitor, and the quality. Actually, I don't do that, man. I don't use any of that stuff, but thank you so much for offering that. But nah, man, I'm good. Thank you so much. So that's in a nutshell, guys. Have a blessed day, and I will see you guys later. And let me go ahead and stop sharing here real quick. And if you guys have any questions, any concerns, I'm here. And bye bye.